Hey guys, it's your pal Victor here, and we're going to talk about the latest and the final 007 movie for Daniel Craig. It's No Time to Die. Stay tuned. So yeah, No Time to Die. I have thoughts on this movie. I love Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig is my favorite James Bond. I love this series of James Bond movies. I will say I feel like the Daniel Craig James Bond movies stand on their own, and I probably will be hard pressed to follow James Bond movies after he's gone. This is the final outing for him as Bond, and it is set to be very final. My thoughts on this movie: it is kind of revisiting James Bond's greatest hits from Casino Royale, through Spectre, and I think that's my main complaint about this movie is that the first half of this movie largely feels like an epilogue to Spectre, and I mean like the first half. This movie is 3 hours long, and it doesn't drag. It just feels like the time could have been utilized better. It doesn't help that Spectre, honestly, is probably my least favorite of the Daniel Craig movies. But Blofeld has been positioned as like James Bond's ultimate, villain. So we have to have that last moment with him and Blofeld. And the sad thing is, like, basically what this does is, it undercuts Rami Malek's character, who is playing a character named Lucifer Safin. I'm not even kidding you. That is his character's name, Lucifer Safin. He's like a multi-millionaire, maybe biologist. His parents were killed by Madeline Swan's father, tying it all back. And Leah Seydoux is heavily in this movie. She's like the co-lead, essentially. And a lot of this movie largely is, James Bond retiring but being dragged back into the game by Jeffrey Wright, who we love and is great in this movie. And then there being, once he's back in the game, realizing there is a new 007 who is awesome. I literally am blanking on her name right now in this review. She was also in Captain Marvel. She's awesome in this, but again, she feels largely shortchanged, where she feels like her whole character is kind of one-upping James Bond, and it's sort of, it's kind of Q is in this, and his character is made canonically gay in this, which is nice. Representation matters. And Naomi Harris is in this again as Money Penny and is totally wasted. Rev Ray finds as M, who is basically like pulling the same kind of bullshit that Dame Judi Dench's M pulled, but there's lots of deep cuts in here. There's especially a really cool scene where Ray finds M is standing in a portrait hall. He's facing a portrait of Judi Dench as M, and right behind him is the actor who played M in the first Sean Connery James Bond movie. So that's Dr. No. Which again, let's talk about Safin, okay? Safin in this movie is essentially what Wen Wu is in Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. Safin is a reinvention of Dr. No. He's not Dr. No in the movie, but in all basic aspects, he is Dr. No. He wears a no mask. That is his calling card on videos in the movie. Although he's not a doctor, there is a line of dialogue near the end where one of his underlings calls him doctor, so it feels like at one point he was a doctor, and that line got missed. He has a poison garden. Like I said, he's a Yellow Menace character like the Mandarin that has been reinvented. The radiation thing that the original Dr. No has here. He's a victim of a chemical attack. And he has a predilection towards Eastern iconography in this movie. So yeah, basically Safin is Dr. No. This doesn't take away anything in the movie. Literally the first scene early on in the movie is Safin wearing a no mask. So like I said, you can consider that a spoiler. I would not. Because, just so you know, He's not Dr. No, but he is Dr. No. Just like, for some reason, the mystery box in these James Bond movies has always been like, we're not going to tell you who this character is. You have to see the whole movie. Like how Blofeld wasn't Blofeld Inspector, even though we all knew he was Blofeld, you know? It's kind of silly, guys. Like, we're adults. This movie was supposed to come out 2 years ago. Fuck a duck, guys. You know, you don't want to have Dr. No, but you want to have Dr. No. There you go. I feel like I'm rapping, yo. But other than that, I feel like his character is shortchanged because we spend so much time revisiting the events of Spectre and even Casino Royale in this movie. And I get part of it is to give Daniel Craig his, you know, as long an exit as possible. But, and he gets an exit in this movie that is noble. I don't necessarily agree that it's the best way to utilize that character, you know, but, you know, you want a definitive exit. This movie gives you a definitive exit for James Bond. Also revisits a lot of stuff from Dr. No. You know, James Bond is in Jamaica in this movie. We got Felix Leiter again. Like I said, it's basically a contemporary Dr. No remix is No Time to Die. And again, the first movie in the James Bond overall is Dr. No. This movie's No Time to Die. No, you know, there it is. Like, they probably at some point wanted to call this Dr. No and realized he's not in it enough to justify that title. So it still works. I dig it. It's a good movie. It's just it could have been better. It should have been shorter. It feels there's a really awesome set piece in Cuba that, you know, featuring Ana de Armas, which feels like, hey, you're my buddy from Knives Out. We're gonna have this cool set piece. Doesn't add anything to the movie. It is a cool sequence, but if they cut it out, I feel like this whole movie would have flowed a lot better. But that's movies, you know, you gotta have those set pieces. That's what gets people in the door. Anyway, those are my thoughts on No Time to Die. It opens this weekend, and check it out. We'll talk to you later. See ya.